Hello everybody, it's I, Web Fox, and welcome to another Fit to Read. This week we're starting off with The Death of Wolverine, #1 from Marvel. This new event that is happening where Wolverine is apparently actually going to finally and possibly forever die. Yeah, right. It's going to take place in a 4-part miniseries. This jumbo-sized issue 1 costs $5, but it does come with a lot of extras. Plenty of sketches in the back, creator commentary on the issue, an interview with the co-creator Wolverine, and some director's cut pages. Not to mention that also comes with a bonus digital issue, so you're getting 2 issues in one. There's also a 1-page story that's continuing of another Marvel story, tie-in with Harley Davidson. I don't know anything about it, but it looks like the story continues on in other comics after this. The story itself, as it goes, is that Wolverine is dying. Well, not really dying yet, but his healing factor is no more, due to a lot of sitting around a bunch of nuclear bombs for some reason as they went off. If anybody with a big brain that he talked to saying there's nothing they can do, it's up to Wolverine to go off and hide somewhere and wait for the inevitable people coming out to kill him. That doesn't take too long. The writing is pretty good, I must say. Then again, I'm not really following any of the Wolverine comics, the gauge of how that has been going up and down. This is pretty much the first Wolverine story I've actually read that's a solo adventure of his. The art is very good. There's some sort of like sketchy pages where there's action, there's a lot of detailed stuff. The coloring is done, especially when he's in the lab with Reed Richards. And I gotta say that the coloring and drawing is all very good. I enjoyed it. The story itself is okay, I guess, because Wolverine is going to die. Okay. This is a jump-on point for his death, but anything that happens before, it doesn't get mentioned at all. There's one character that's brought up I never heard of before. Another character is here that supposedly Wolverine, I guess, fought before, but I don't know him. And there's a lot of dead henchmen lying everywhere. And get to see Wolverine in a bar, of course. That's always fun. I got this nice shiny cover because the other covers were okay, except for the one that had Deadpool on it for no reason at all. But this shiny one it's shiny, so this is the one that I picked out. I don't plan to follow this story any more than it is, but I'll probably keep an ear out on Wikipedia of what happens to him and the eventual return. As I've seen in the preview book, that there's going to be like, I don't know, a dozen more miniseries that talks about what happens after his death, like an army of clone Wolverines, and then, I don't know, how the X-Men deal with it. Stuff like that, whatever. So, yeah, it's well packed. It's $5, about $1 more than the usual issue, but there's a lot of extras in the back if you're into that sort of thing. And a digital bonus issue, and you get to look around and choose your own cover. So that's The Death of Wolverine, Part 1. I'm sure he'll return. So we're now going on to My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, issue 23 from IDW. And I got the one that has all the little animals worried about their owners. This will be a good jumping on point for, well, I guess about anybody. It's not a good introduction to the world of ponies, but it's a good introduction to the pets of the world of ponies. Story goes is that all the ponies have gone missing, and it's up to Angel and the other pets of the core 6 ponies to go out and find them and save the day. I do love that the story starts out with Angel, who is the pet of my favorite pony, Fluttershy. You can see that he is volunteering or tasked to go out and go find the ponies. This is comic writing at its best because there's hardly any writing. It's all visual. There's less than 2 pages of actual dialogue, and they're the last 2 pages. The rest is facial reactions, miming, and other stuff to try to get their message across between each other as they go out and save the day and try to work together. The only bit of continuity I can see is that all the main 6 has their pets, which, if you watch the show, you'll see that Twilight Sparkle and Rainbow Dash were the last 2 of the ponies to get pets. That and Twilight Sparkle has wings, so she's in princess mode, which I still haven't seen that episode yet. I just had to pick this up. I'm not really of getting the paper versions of My Little Ponies, but the story is so cute from what I saw in the previews, and I must say this was totally worth it because this is a comic I'll happily share with anybody. So even little kids, I'm sure, will happily understand this, of how the animals are out to save the day. It looks like that there's a new type of species or character of ponies that were introduced. I don't know, maybe we've seen them they were shown before, but I still haven't read more than 2 or 3 issues of the comics, so, and I'm only 2 seasons into the show, so there's still a lot of pony stuff I don't know, but eventually I'll get to. So this is a pickup for the cuteness factor, but there's nothing really there to encourage you to pick it up for the story. Besides that, it's a good story, short story, cute story, easy to read story. So I understand that if people want to hold off on this, or may even say this is a throwaway issue since it'll have nothing to do with anything that's My Little Pony ever again. But this is something that I felt that I wanted to get, and I'm happy I did get it. Oh, and about the artwork, that is not really the show quality, but it is very well done for comic. You could just see that it's drawn for comic style. Unlike some other particular issues I've read where it looks like that they just took screen caps of the show, but it's not from the show. It was made for the comic that looks just like the show. And moving on, we're finalizing this with World War Kaiju from 01 Publishing. I had to order this off of Amazon to enjoy this wonderful beauty. Too bad I didn't hear about this till after the Kickstarter ended, because this is an amazing book, if you're a Kaiju fan, that is. This is book 1, The Cold War Years, and this book has the 2 chapters in it. If the Kickstarter was able to get past more of its goals, the book would have been about 3 times bigger than its normal size, but I gotta say that for the price, that this is a good read. I've been on the World War Kaiju website many times and reading those preview pages over and over, so as soon as I got this book, I just skipped those first few pages and picked up where it left off. This is not a comic per se. There's comic panels in quite a bit of the book, but there's also quite a bit where the book is actually white text on black background, like a normal book. More like an interview style. That's pretty much what this book is about. It's a retired CIA agent spilling all the secrets of the Kaiju Wars to a journalist, no matter how much he believes it or not. So much of the book is about the 2 gentlemen talking. Well, a lot of parts of the book is comic panels reenacting or showing what has happened during these Kaiju War years. I really do enjoy the alternate universe that they created, where what if atomic bombs were not created, but humans managed to create kaiju to wage war on each other. This book covers the Kaiju Wars of the 1940s and the 1950s. The 3 main powers that have kaiju being US, Soviet Union, and the UN. Kaiju successes, kaiju failures, kaijus of many types. Much of the art here is in a very realistic painted picture type, where there are some pages that are very stylized for whether the story or the time that they're supposed to emulate. These pages can sort of take you out of the moment, but they fit the feel of what they're trying to give so well. This is a wonderful homage to kaijus and kaiju fans. Newspaper clippings here and pulp comic reenactments of what happened between characters throughout pages. One Kaiju versus Kaiju battle in here is beautifully done with no words, just visuals as they duke it out over a city. Questions are asked, answers are given, more questions are still asked. This book beautifully shows and tells the world that these people are living in. A world not of atoms, but of monsters. So this book is an amazing book. I love it because I'm a big Godzilla fan. So this is great. It only has the first 2 chapters of this amazing story, and it is book 1. So I hope to see more books coming. The art is very beautiful, and the way that the story tells, the way that it's told, I should say, is interesting as it flips between comic to little snippets of news articles to sort of a text interview formats. But it fits in well, I think, because you don't need to really see them all the time. It's a good way of telling a story, as we're able to keep the pictures going in our heads, because there's plenty of pictures around to fill in the gaps. And not only that, but there's quite a bit of comic panels in here of a normal sense that goes on very well. This is a great book, priced at $20, but I was able to get it on Amazon for about $16 or so pre-order. And in the back of the book, there's a little 2-page ad for Kaiju toys, another page of the Kaiju preparation kit, and then there's a few more pages talk about a Kaiju investigation of how the Kaijus in this world work, the different types of Kaijus, and it's a good way to read up and get a feel of how the world is in this comic even more, besides the main story, and to understand what they're talking about a little better. There is one little typo in that little section I was talking about, where the numbering is off by 1. But besides that, it's very well written and feels sort of real for its time. Sure do hope to see more of this. And as you can see, that it's sort of an odd shape, more like a webcomic style book. Whereas I could take this My Little Pony, and if you hold it like that, you can see that it's about the size of a regular comic. So I may have to keep it like this on my bookshelf. But it's very well done, and it's just beautiful artwork. And if you look here in the back, 2 pages of credits, all small text. This whole page here, this whole section here is of websites, but there's a lot of people that put work in here. There's love in there, and they thought about what they were doing. It is amazing. Hope to see more of this. I'm going to be treasuring this for a long time. So those are the books that I picked up for this week. 2 comics. One is more of a graphic novel than a comic. But they are all great. For next week, Prometheus, probably more Sonic, Walking Dead, and much more. I'm Web Fox. Thank you for watching.